This video is about Symphony No. 101, The Clock, by Joseph Haydn. I will explain the most important things about the work and the composer. Joseph Haydn composed his Symphony No. 101 in D major, known as The Clock, in 1793 or 1794. It belongs to the second group of the famous London symphonies, which Haydn wrote for his concerts in England. The nickname "the clock" arose from the characteristic ticking rhythm in the second movement. Haydn composed this work at the height of his career, when he was already internationally recognized. The symphony shows his mastery of orchestration and his sense of musical humor. The symphony, The Clock, follows the classical four-movement structure. The first movement begins with a slow introduction, followed by a lively allegro in sonata form. The second movement, an andante, contains the famous clockwork motif. The third movement is a typical minuet with trio. The fourth movement, a finale vivace, brings the work to an energetic conclusion. Each movement has its own character, but together they form a coherent musical whole. The second movement of the symphony is particularly noteworthy and gave the work its nickname. Haydn creates a ticking rhythm here that is reminiscent of the ticking of a clock. This effect is created by a combination of strings and woodwinds. The clockwork motif runs through the entire movement and is varied in different ways. Haydn shows his sense of musical wit and his ability to transform everyday sounds into music. In the symphony, The Clock, Haydn demonstrates his mastery of orchestration. He uses a classical orchestra typical of the time, with strings, woodwinds, horns, trumpets, and timpani. Haydn skillfully uses the different instrument groups to create contrasts and interesting timbres. He alternates between delicate and powerful passages, creating a varied soundscape. His creative use of woodwinds is particularly striking. The symphony, The Clock, was premiered in London on March 3, 1794. It was a great success with the audience. The second movement, in particular, with its clockwork motif, was enthusiastically received. The symphony quickly became popular and was frequently performed. It consolidated Haydn's reputation as an innovative and entertaining composer. The London critics praised the originality and ingenuity of the work. The Clock Symphony is an important work in Haydn's symphonic output. It shows his ability to integrate innovative elements into classical form. The symphony represents Haydn's late style, which is characterized by complexity, wit, and surprise effects. It is an example of his art of combining serious music with humorous elements. The symphony influenced subsequent composers in their treatment of the orchestra and the use of programmatic elements. Haydn's musical language in the symphony, The Clock, is diverse and expressive. He uses catchy melodies, complex harmonies, and rhythmic variety. The symphony contains both lyrical and dramatic passages. Haydn plays with the audience's expectations and surprises them with unexpected turns. The clockwork motif in the second movement is not just a sound effect, but is integrated into the musical structure and developed. The Clock Symphony was written at a time when London was an important center of musical life. Haydn was very popular there and his concerts were social events. The symphony reflects the tastes of the London audience, which valued entertainment and musical innovation. At the same time, it shows Haydn's ability to create profound music that goes beyond mere entertainment. The Clock Symphony is now part of the standard repertoire of many orchestras. Modern performances vary in interpretation, particularly in tempo and emphasis on the humorous element. The symphony is often used in concert programs to demonstrate Haydn's versatility and originality. It remains a popular work that fascinates both musicians and listeners with its liveliness and musical wit.